Welcome you back to Black Site. We're going to talk about Future basically slamming or attacking Russell Wilson for not being a man and basically being led around by Ciara. This whole thing is over their child that they had together before her and Russell Wilson hooked up and got married. This is why so many men across this nation does not want to be involved with a mother with children because of these situations. Future seems like he's bitter for the simple fact that he can't spend enough time with his son, and that right now his son is basically being raised by Russell Wilson. These attacks that Future is doing, that Ciara is doing, is not very good for their child. At this particular time, Russell Wilson is caught in between a relationship that ended badly, and it seems like in some way Ciara still has some feelings for Future. She constantly talks about him. Instead of her trying to work out this situation and making it extremely amicable for both of them, it seems like it's been going on ever since this child's been born. And now Russell Wilson, as the stepdad, is caught in a situation to where he basically does not know what to say. It's not his child, but the child is living under his roof. Now, for Future to start calling Russell Wilson not being a man, being led around by Ciara, that's disrespectful to Russell Wilson as a man, because as a man, he's head of the household. Now you got a situation where you got two men who are in this young man's life. They're bickering with each other, and this is not good for the child. Some way, somehow, these three should have sat down and discussed this issue in general, and this is how this was going to work out. Because if you wanted a stepdad or someone to spend time with your son every day, the person you would pick would be Russell Wilson. He's a highly intelligent man, a man who has a great future ahead of him even after football, and he seems like he cares for Future's son. But Ciara, in her own right, should have been the one that they sat down and said, we're going to sit down, we're going to discuss when he can see the child, when the child can be picked up. But if you're using the child as a pawn in the game to get back at Future, that's not right. Future seems to be angry. Future wants to be the man who controls his son's destiny like any other man would. And he feels as though he's being left out. Now, there's going to be a lot of women out there who basically saying he's getting what he deserves. Rightfully so, you could say that. If he wanted to be with Ciara, he should have married Ciara. But he didn't. We know about Future's past. He's got 6 different baby mamas. I don't know. I can't keep count of them. And everybody's going to side with Russell Wilson. But as a father, as the real father of this child, he has the right to determine what kind of schools he go to, what do he do in his after-school activities, and those things in nature. That this is Ciara's whole thing right now. She should have had some kind of sit-down. But it seems like it's not happening. And this is why you have Future on this radio show attacking Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is not a bad guy. He's doing the best he can as a stepfather and as a husband. But now Ciara has brought this to a head, when this should have been sat down and discussed. And this is going to spiral out of control. The one thing I can say about this whole situation, you know that Russell Wilson is going to handle this situation professionally. As a man who's married to a woman, you won't see Russell respond to this, because that's not Russell Wilson. But Ciara has to understand, unless she has some kind of relationship with Future, I'm talking about friendship relationship. It doesn't have to be like we have to talk, but some kind of relationship that the son can be with his father and you can respect Future and that they can have a relationship. This thing for the next 10, 15 years, it's going to get ridiculous. And like I said, this is why earlier in this video I said that so many men don't want to be with single mothers because they don't want to have to deal with the fathers and what kind of attitude they may have towards them. Because Russell Wilson feels like, hey, I'm head of this household. What I say goes. But this is Ciara's doing. Now she might clap back or say something about Future. Then Future comes back and says something about her. And Russell Wilson is her husband. And most people gonna say, what is Russell Wilson saying? Does he get involved in it? Russell Wilson is one of the most professional people out there in sports today. This is not his style. But this is what he's embroiled in right now. Foolishness. And this could have been stopped a long time ago, especially when she put that number 3 on that little baby without asking her husband. Because you made it seem like it was Russell's child, not Future's. And I know Future as a man is still steaming about that. Another man's name on his son's back. So this dilemma can't be solved by Russell. Russell is the man on the outside. This has to be solved by Ciara. And see what's best for her son and his son Future. Man, it's a complicated situation. I wouldn't even want to be involved in this nonsense. But a lot of people across this country are involved in these relationships, and sometimes they spiral out of control. I want to thank you for listening to Black Site Underground News that you can use. Hope you subscribe to this channel, smash that like button, and share this video.